Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to First PUC Business Studies online classes. Students, in the previous class we have studied about departmental undertaking, a form of business ownership, wasn't it? That is under government sector or government enterprises, public enterprises, isn't it? Now let us move on to the second one, that is public corporation. Public corporation, the other name for public corporation is statutory corporation. Public corporation or statutory corporation are both one and the same. Remember, statutory corporations. Let us analyze the meaning of this. We have seen in case of departmental undertaking, the autonomy is very less. Autonomy means freedom, isn't it? To take decisions, to do the work, isn't it? Or to use the finance, whatever is money is collected, whether they can use, no, they cannot. And there are hard and fast rules, and everything will be decided by the minister only, who is in charge of that particular department, isn't it? So that was, and there are a lot of red tapeism, corruption, wasn't it? So for that reason, a new form of business ownership that is thought of under public sector, that is a public sector enterprises, which is called public corporation or statutory corporation. So we need a mid of the path, that is neither full flexibility nor that is full, that is control, isn't it? So we need such a form of business ownership where the employees, they enjoy some sort of freedom and at the same time some sort of control, so that the business can run very easily with some sort of flexibility and some sort of control, isn't it? So public corporation has been established. Let us move on to the meaning of public corporation. Public corporations are one of the forms of public sector enterprises which are established under a special act of parliament. Remember, special act of parliament will decide the life of public corporation, or public corporation takes its birth, or statutory corporations takes their birth from a special act passed in the parliament, special act passed in the parliament or state legislature. So to establish or to start a public corporation as a form of business ownership, there must be a special statute or special act passed in the parliament or state legislature. And the name of public corporations mostly ends with the word corporation. Let me give you some examples. Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation, isn't it? Industrial Development Corporation, or Life Insurance Corporation, LIC, isn't it? Even RBI comes under the statutory corporation, remember. So most of the that is corporations, their name ends with corporation. Industrial Finance Corporation of India, isn't it? Ends with corporation. So all these corporations, they need a special statute or special act that is passed in the parliament if it is established by the central government or union government, or act passed in the state legislature if it is established by the state government. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕ ನಿಗಮಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು. ಲೈಫ್ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೋಡ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂತಹ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರವೇ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನು ಮುಚ್ಚಬೇಕು. ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಅಡಕವಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರವೇ ಅದು ನಡೀತದೆ, ಆ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರವೇ ಅದು ಹುಟ್ಟಿಕೊಳ್ತದೆ, ಆ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರವೇ ಅದು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ನೌ? So let me repeat, public corporations are the public sector, one of the forms of public sector enterprises which are established under a special act passed in the parliament or state legislature, and they take their birth from the special act, and they should be run as per the special act, and they should be closed as per the special act. Clear? Examples, they may ask you, give an example for public corporation. KSRTC, Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation, Industrial Finance Corporation of India, Life Insurance Corporation of India, isn't it? All this comes under the public corporation. Now let me move on to the features of, what are the special features of public corporation. First one is, they are governed by the special act. Governed by features. Point number 1, governed by special act. Governed by special act. Special act. Yes. They are established and run as per the special act. So everything will be there, how to start, how to run, what are the rules and regulations that are to be followed by the employees, how the employees' salary should be paid, what are the there's a scale structure, organizational chart, that is a hierarchy of management, isn't it? That is ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿಗಳ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಕೈ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಅಂಡರ್ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಆ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ರೀಸನ್ they are governed by, governed means that's regulated, controlled by the special act and not by any other people. Second one is wholly owned by the government. Second one is they are wholly owned by the government. They are owned by the government itself. That is, the shares are, this amount of shares, the entire share capital is contributed by the government. They are fully owned by the government. They are controlled, but there is some sort of, that is, autonomy or independence to take decisions, not like department undertakings, but still they are under the control of the government. Remember friends, the employees are not civil servants here, they are not government employees, but still they are working in the corporation, isn't it? But the corporation is wholly owned by the government. Then third one is, it's a body corporate can sue and be sued. A body corporate can sue and be sued. Like in joint stock company has a special feature, that is joint stock company can sue and be sued, as it is an artificial person, isn't it? Artificial person, the company is not having body or soul, it enjoys the same rights and privileges that are enjoyed by a natural person. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಇದೆ, ಅವನು ಬೇರೆಯವರ ಮೇಲೆ ತನ್ನ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅವನಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆದರೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವನು ಕೋರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ದಾವೆಯನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರು ತೊಂದರೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅವನ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ದಾವೆಯನ್ನು ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ, ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪನಿ ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ. ಕಂಪನಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಮಾನವ ನಿರ್ಮಿತ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಅಂತ, ಕೃತಕ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ. And it enjoys, company enjoys all the privileges and rights of a natural person. If you go to, let me take up one company here nearby, Mangalore, MRPL, Mangalore Refineries and Petrochemicals Limited, government enterprise, wasn't it? Can you go and straight away enter inside the premises of MRPL? The security will beat you like anything and he may hand over you to the police, isn't it? That will happen. You forcefully enter, isn't it? Because they have the right to protect their property, and company being an artificial person, it cannot do all the works on its own. So some human agents will be there to act as the managers or the protector of that natural person, that's a artificial person, right? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲವರು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ MRPL cannot sign on its own. Can it sign? No. For that reason, a human agent will be there, maybe manager or general manager or the chief executive officer. They will put their signature and seal of the company will be affixed over there, so that the people will come to know that this letter is issued by, given by the Mangalore Refineries and Petrochemicals Limited, MRPL, correct? So in the same way here, public corporations, they are body corporates. Body corporate means they are registered, that is entities. They have their own legal entity, they have their own legal identity, isn't it? Like LIC will come to know, one branch is there somewhere in Karkala, isn't it? Will come to know, when we speak about LIC in Karkala, straight away our mind goes to that place, because it has its own legal existence. It has a big building, many people, employees work over there, isn't it? It is the branch, LIC branch, working in Karkala town, isn't it? In the same way here, if we disturb someone, that's outsider, third party disturbs, that is LIC, then the senior manager or general manager of that branch can file a suit against that person. Or if LIC comes and disturbs us, the people of the employees of LIC, they disturb us, then we can file a suit against the employees of LIC or the LIC itself, isn't it? So this is called can sue and be sued. ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬಂದು 2 ಬಾರಿಸಿದ್ರು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ, ನಾವು ಏನು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಲರ್ ಹಿಡಿದು 4 ಕೊಟ್ಟರು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಕರಿತೀರಿ, ಅಥವಾ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ಇಂಥವ ನನಗೆ ಹೊಡೆದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿವರು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, FIR ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ 4 ಬಾರಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಅವರು ಹೆಡೆಮುರಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು, ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ the body corporate will also enjoy the same privileges and rights of a natural person. That is what my point is. So body corporate, and they can sue, and it can sue and be sued. That's the third feature of statutory corporation. Fourth one is autonomy to use isn't it? Independently financed, autonomy to use finance. It enjoys autonomy. That is, two types of independence is there. One to take decisions, and the second one is to use the finance. In case of postal department or railway, whatever amount is collected, you have to directly deposit into the government treasury. Am I correct? Whether you can use a single rupee from that? No, you cannot. You have no right to do that, because the expenses of the department will be given separately by the government. ಖರ್ಚುಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಾಗ ನೀವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬಂದ ಇನ್ಕಮಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೈ ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು? ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಅದು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಇದು ವಿಷಯ. If you come to this public corporation, here you will not be given money from the budget, but you are allowed to use, you can use the amount that is collected in the form of revenue. You can divert that revenue for your expenses. You can use some money from the revenue generated for the expenses. And the employees, the top level executives, top level officers, they can take decisions because they are not bound by any, that is decisions of the ministry, or they need not have to wait for any, that is green signal from anyone. For their branch, the branch head can take decisions, isn't it? On major issues, or the main, all the issues they can take. On major issues, they may take permission from the divisional office or something like that, isn't it? But they can take their decisions and they can run the corporation. Next, fifth one is accounting and audit practices are not same. Accounting practices are not the same. Accounting practices are not the same. Even the audit practices are also not same compared to departmental undertaking, as they are receiving the money from state exchequer, that is the government treasury, and their income will be deposited into government treasury. The accounting practice of department undertaking is totally different from the public corporation, because here you can use the amount that is generated in the form of revenue for the expenses of the branch or expenses of the corporation, isn't it? You can use that. So here financial autonomy and decision making autonomy is there to some sort of, we can say that there is flexibility in making decisions and flexibility in using the finance. Financial independence is there in case of public corporation. Last one is employees are not government employees. They are not civil servants. I will write here, employees are not civil servants. Are not civil servants, and civil service rules are not applicable to them. Why it is? Can you tell me? Because it is established under a separate act, isn't it? Passed in the parliament or state legislature. So all the code of conduct or all the rules and regulations for the employees is defined. It is already defined in the, that is special act that is passed. So they should operate, they should run, they should do their business, and they should control their employees in the same way as it is defined under the special act. ಆ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವರು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ನಿಯಮಗಳಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಇವರು ಪಾಲಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ, ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ಮೆರಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಮೆರಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಟೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. mention the features of, mention, you need not explain friends, just mention the points on, that's all. Mention the merits of, sorry, features of public corporations. Public corporations. Submit your assignment on time. I will within a minute I will give you some, that is points here again. Let us recollect. Public corporations are established by a special act passed in the parliament or state legislature. It is a form of public sector undertaking, isn't it? And special act is necessary for the establishment of that is public corporation. Features are, it is governed by special act passed in the parliament or state legislature. Second one, it is wholly owned by the government because why? They are not collecting funds from the public, isn't it? Then body corporate, it can sue and be sued. Either if there is a disturbance to the corporation, they can sue, or if the corporation disturbs others, then the public can sue the corporation. Then autonomy will be there. Autonomy in the sense flexibility, both in terms of what? Financial independence, then decision making power, isn't it? Then accounting practices are not the same. Department undertaking, the amount is deposited directly into government treasury and expenses are appropriated from the annual budget. But here it is not like that. This public corporation can utilize the money for the expenses, isn't it? And money is not appropriated from the budget. So they can use the money, that is revenue generated, that can, a part of that can be utilized for the expenses. That is financial independence is there in case of, that is a public corporation. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.